Hello students of class 6, welcome to our social science class. This is our session 6. So today we will be looking at our geography lesson 2, land and oceans, part 2. As a start, let's see what we looked at in our last video. Yes, in our last video, we saw about the first order of landform, that is the continent and the oceans. Then we saw about the second order of landforms, which are mountains, plateaus and plains. Hope you all remember. The highest ones are the mountains, the flat parts are the plateaus, and the normal are the plains. So today we are going to look at what are third order landforms, how are they formed, what are oceans, and what are the various oceans found in the earth in detail. So we are going to see about all these things in detail. Okay students, so I want you all to listen carefully. Let's start with our today's class. Third order landforms. What are third order landforms? They are valleys, beaches and sand dunes. So what are valleys, beaches and sand dunes? So first, the picture you see are the valleys, that is, the slopy areas of the mountains where you find some water flowing. Those are called the valleys. Secondly, are the sand dunes. What are sand dunes? Sand dunes are nothing but sand. They are all piles of sand. Third are the beaches. You know what is a beach, right? We all often visit beach. We go to Marina Beach or the Besanago Beach, which is near to us. In the same way, there are beaches all around the world. So these are the third order landforms. They are all formed due to wind or waves. When waves come, they get beach. And due to wind, we get sand dunes. Amount of sand are piled up or are gathered at one place. Like you see in the picture, there are so much sand, and when there are so much sand, they are called sand dunes. You see this often in deserts. I hope you would have understood what are third order landforms. Now, next we are going to see what are oceans. We already saw about what is an ocean. Yes, oceans are waters. Water occupies most of our earth. So the large amount of water is called as an ocean. It's either in the form of ocean or seas. So what is the difference between an ocean and a sea? Let's see. Oceans are vast expanse of water. Oceans are large amount of water. When they are gathered in one place, they are called as oceans. Seas are water bodies partially or fully enclosed by lands. When they are called as seas, they will have land around them. As we have already seen, there are 5 oceans. We saw in our last video, right? Yeah. What are the 5 oceans? Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, Southern Ocean, and the Arctic Ocean. So as you see in the picture, the Pacific Ocean is the largest ocean. As we saw in our last class, it is the largest ocean. So you see in the picture, right? They almost occupy 47% of the area, and the Atlantic Ocean occupies 23%, followed by the Indian Ocean 20%, and then the Southern Ocean 6%, and the Arctic Ocean just 4%. So they are called as the smallest ocean. So let's move on and see each of the oceans in detail. So first, let's see what is Pacific Ocean. So what is in Pacific Ocean? It is the largest and deepest ocean. It is bounded by Australia and Asia in the west, North America and South America in the east. You see in this picture, right? Asia and Australia are in the west side, that is on the left side, and North America and the South America in the east, right side. The shape of the ocean is somewhat triangular, and the marginal seas, that is the small seas that are nearer to the lands, are Bering Sea, China Sea, Sea of Japan, Tasman Sea, and Philippine Sea. So there are 5 small seas from these oceans, and there are some islands located in the oceans. What are islands? Islands are lands that are surrounded by water. So some of the islands that are found in the Pacific Ocean are Indonesia, Philippines, Japan, Hawaii, New Zealand. So you see the small orange part inside the dark blue, right? So those are the Philippines and Japan, Hawaii, and other islands. And the last point, there are chain of volcanoes located around the ocean. So around the Pacific Ocean, we will be able to see a chain of volcano, and this chain is called as the Pacific Ring of Fire. So now we know that the Pacific Ocean is the largest and the deepest ocean, and it has 5 marginal seas, and it has 5 islands too. They are surrounded by volcanoes, which are called as the Pacific Ring of Fire. So let's move on to the next ocean, that is the Atlantic Ocean. Atlantic Ocean is the second largest ocean. It is bound by North America and South America in the west, and Europe and Africa in the east. So just like what we read, we see in the picture too, right? Atlantic Ocean is in the middle, and in the west side we see North America and South America, that is on the left side, and on the right side you see Europe and Africa. The shape resembles the letter S. Can you see in the picture? It looks similar to the alphabet S, right? Yeah. This Atlantic Ocean is the busiest shipping route. So it's where ships go and come most often. So the marginal seas found in this Atlantic Ocean are the Caribbean Sea, Gulf of Mexico, North Sea, Gulf of Guinea, and Mediterranean Sea. So here also we have 5 marginal seas. So moving on to the islands. The islands found in the Atlantic Ocean are St. Helena, Newfoundland, Iceland, and the Falkland. So there are 4 islands found in the Atlantic Oceans, and you will be able to see them in the picture. The parts which are orange and inside the dark blue are the islands. So the Atlantic Ocean is the second largest ocean. They are in the form of an S, and they have 5 marginal seas and 4 islands. So let's move on to the next ocean, that is the Indian Ocean. It is the largest ocean. It is the third largest ocean and is named after India. It is triangular in shape. So you see in the picture, right? It is almost triangular in shape. It is bounded by Africa in the west, Asia in the north, and Australia in the east. So you see Africa on the left side, Asia at the top side, and the Australia in the right side of the Indian Ocean. So the islands found in the Indian Ocean are Andaman and Nicobar Island, Lakshadweep Island, Maldives, Sri Lanka, Mauritius, and Reunion Islands. So there are totally 6 islands found in the Indian Ocean. And the marginal seas are Bay of Bengal, Arabian Sea, Persian Gulf, and the Red Sea. So there are 6 islands and 4 marginal seas. And Indian Ocean is named after India. It is triangular in shape. It has Africa on the left, Asia on the top, and Australia on the right side. So that's all for the Indian Ocean. Let's move on to the Southern Ocean. The water in this ocean is very cold and much of it is covered by ice. So as this ocean is covered by ice, it is very cold. Southern Sea surrounds the continent of Antarctica. It is bordered by southern parts of Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, and Indian Ocean. So it is bound by the other 3 oceans. So Southern Ocean is in the middle part of the Pacific, Atlantic, and the Indian Ocean, as you see in the picture. So the marginal seas are Ross Sea, Weddell Sea, and the Davis Sea. So there are 3 marginal sea found in the Southern Ocean, as you see in the picture. So some of the islands are Fawell Island, Bowman Island, and the Hearst Island. So there are 4 islands and 3 marginal seas in Southern Ocean. They are surrounded by the 3 other oceans, and the Southern Ocean surrounds the continent called the Antarctica. So the continent, that is the land called Antarctica, that is the white part in the picture, is surrounded by the Southern Ocean. This ocean is said to be very cold and covered by ice. So that's all for Southern Ocean. So let's move on and see what is an Arctic Ocean. It is the smallest ocean. As we saw in the first picture, it just had 4%. So it is the smallest ocean. It lies within the Arctic Circle. It remains frozen almost the full year. The marginal seas are Norwegian Sea, Greenland Sea, East Siberian Sea, and the Barents Sea. So there are 4 seas, marginal seas in the Arctic Ocean, and the islands are Greenland, New Siberian, and the Novaya Zemlya Island. So there are 3 islands and 4 marginal seas in the Arctic Ocean. The North Pole is situated in the middle of this ocean. So the Arctic Ocean has 4 marginal seas, 3 islands, and it's the smallest ocean. So this is the Arctic Ocean. It's bound by most of the continents. So Arctic Ocean is frozen and it is also the cold ocean. So I hope you understood about the 5 oceans in detail. So let's see what we saw in this video. We saw what are the third order landforms, that is the valleys, beaches and the sand dunes. Secondly, we saw that oceans occupy the major part of the earth, and we also saw the 5 major oceans, that is the Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, Southern Ocean and the Arctic Ocean. So all 5 oceans have their own marginal seas and islands. They mostly or partially have lands around them. They are bound by continents, other continents. So they have land around them, and the land within them are the islands. So now let's have a view of all the oceans together. So you see, right? In the left end we have Pacific Ocean, in the middle you have Atlantic Ocean, down you have Southern Ocean, then at the right end you have Pacific Ocean, and in the middle you have Indian Ocean, and you have other continents scattered around the oceans. And you see the topmost you have the Arctic Ocean. So all the 5 oceans are here. So I hope you understand the importance of ocean. Yes, whole of the world is covered by oceans, and only few parts are the continents, which are the yellow parts. So students, I hope you understood the landforms, that is the mountains, plateaus, plains, continents, that is the lands, and the valleys, sand dunes. And you have also understood about oceans, which are the Pacific, Indian, Southern, Arctic, and the Atlantic Oceans. So students, that's all for the lesson Land and Oceans. I hope you understood them very well. Thank you for listening. Meet you in our next video. Until then, take care students. Bye.